To take a closer look at what today's developments mean to you, we're joined by University of Toledo political science professor Dr. Joel Voss. Dr. Voss, thanks for being with us. Let me ask, how significant was it for President Zelensky to address the U.S. Congress today, and how effective was it considering he didn't get that no-fly zone he desperately wanted?
Well, it's always significant for a head of state to address the U.S. Congress. Zelensky has, of course, also talked to the European Parliament and many other heads of states. And legislatures as well. So this is just a tour, if you will, of him asking for help. He definitely did not get everything that he wanted, though, and I think that was also expected.
Dr. Voss, we've seen the resilience, incredible resilience of the Ukrainian army, the civilians there. What about the risk of this being a long, drawn-out war? What's the end game here?
Well, I think there are two possible end games. One is that we have compromise in the next couple of weeks because Russia realizes that its military operation is going to fail. The other potential outcome is that it's a very long, drawn-out war where Russia overtakes all of Ukraine and then they fight urban warfare, sort of like we did in Iraq and they did in Chechnya.
I hope that is not the outcome that we see. Now, one of your areas of interest and expertise is peace and conflict resolution. Now, if you were at the table for any kind of peace talks, what would you do? How do you get both sides that are so far apart closer together?
Well, I think what you have to do is you have to make both sides realize that the amount of people that are dying is very high. Unrest in Russia is also very high. And so, in other words, neither group is necessarily getting what it wants. The problem, of course, is that both think that in a week or two, they'll be much better off than they are right now. So it's really hard to get them together to compromise as long as they think that they can have an advantage in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
And Dr. Voss, lastly, what about a wild card here, the China influence? What do you see from that country?
Yeah, well, China acts neutral on the international stage. It consistently says that it's neutral, but obviously the United States and others are worried about China helping Russia. And I think if they do that, they'll be sanctioned, and then we have a much greater risk of it escalating, not just in Europe, but perhaps even in Asia.
All right, Dr. Joel Voss, University of Toledo, thanks so much for your expertise and your insight. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.